All right, I think the prepare work is done. Have we fixed it? Is it good? Is it better? Definitely better than we originally
Better.
wanted. What the heck was wrong? What were we thinking when we originally came
We
up
didn't
with
know
this?
what we were doing.
Next time, research is better done beforehand as opposed to during. I guess we were in too much of a rush to put it up. Anyway, we've made some major changes to our Patreon so far. Because, frankly, for one, a lot of our goals were a little unrealistic. Two, a lot of our goals weren't budgeted properly. And three, our rewards were a little lacking, and some of them, we didn't quite have the collection of rewards that made a great deal of sense. As well, we've added to our rewards to our goals to a certain degree. So let's go through this very quickly so that we all understand what's going on with the new Married with Clicks. So, right now, as it stands, our $25 goal of new editing software is met monthly. Thank you very much for our current Patreon who are facilitating that. As you've seen in some of our videos quality is already starting to go up, as well as the editing quality. That said, our next goal, at the $50 per month,
we will be adding a brand new show, which will be a competitive breakdown. Basically, we will take teams. This is the team one, right?
Yes, this is the team.
Okay. Basically, we're going to get teams that have been winning in ROCs, in nationals, regionals, whatever, what have you, big event teams. We're going to take them, analyze them, break them down, and tell you guys how these teams work, what makes them work, the good rules that go around these teams, basically how they function and why they've won.
Now, the reason we need a little bit of extra support to make this show possible is we do MetaLab, we do MetaFix, we do Dial It Up, we do our games, and we do unboxings. That's a lot of content that Amber already has on her plate. And unfortunately, there's limitations to our license as far as the editing software that we have now is concerned. So with the extra money, what we plan to do is actually, in fact, add another license so that I can help with the editing and take on some of the work for that. Now, one of the bonuses of the competitive breakdown show is that we have the rules monger and we have the tactics guy. So between the two of us, we can really break down how a team can work ahead of time and then share it with you and explain to you guys how that team works and possibly come up with some ideas or pieces that will counter that team. So that's our goal if we hit the $50 mark per month. Now, next up, and this one's strictly related to the MetaLab, if we hit the $200 per month mark, the MetaLab will start filming our practice sessions. Now, we do have a spot lined up with a store, and we are planning a pilot project to show you guys what our plan is for that video, get your comments ahead of time, and then if we can get the funding for that, we will continue with that. Now, the problem is that the MetaLab guys all live in a major city just outside of where I am, so I have to we all have to meet in the middle at a store, and it's a lot easier for them than it is for me. So part of that is transportation. Part of that is I kind of got to incentivize them to do this regularly. And that will include, acquiring some form of monetization, pricing, whatever I can figure out with them. And that's kind of falling into that $200 mark. After, of course, we factor in the $50 mark for the first two shows. So that's at a $150 mark of its own creation, if you will. So that's our goal, is the MetaLab will start filming our practice sessions, so you guys get an idea of what we do for our practice and how we kind of work it out, break things down, and then, when we decide if we're going to scrap a team or not scrap a team, you get to see our ideas. And I really just want video evidence of Tom's brain at work.
It's amazing.
It is something else. So next up, we've actually upped the value of our camera equipment to the $500 mark, but the reason for that is that we're prioritizing new shows for you guys. So if we hit the $200 mark, $150 gets budgeted towards the practice show, $50 gets put into an extra editing suite and another show, and then from there another $300 goes towards improved equipment per month. Now, this is a temporary basis. As soon as we have equipment, the necessary equipment for everybody on our shows, and everybody who needs this equipment, we will stop this and actually lower the goal above it. Which the next goal, and so that's, we want improved equipment. If you guys are willing to help out, put in some, and the money gets to that point, we will increase the quality of our equipment. And then, at the $800 mark,
we have the Married with Clicks tournament series, which would basically be a setup of tournaments, either ones that we would be running ourselves or that we would put our name out and advertising on for people like you guys to be able to run these series under our name and have them kind of like in the same line as, like, say, the ROC is doing right now, a little bit step up from a regular venue where this would be kind of a specialty event that you would draw a lot of people in, and we would regularly advertise these kind of events.
Now, what that would mean is ROC here, us here, local event here kind of idea. So we're going to be in that level between. For the most part, we'd be running the 300-point standard metagames, so the teams could be competitive, but we will run separate seasons similar to what the ROC does. And actually probably line them up with the ROC, either opposing or at the same time as them, just so as not to create competition, but to actually make available to some stores as kind of a test market for your competitive play. Now, the big goal on this is, the reason we're asking for fan money for this is that we want to put it on for you guys. Any venues that hold this will not be charged additional money for this. We will specifically be requesting that the stores that put this on do not ask for money at the door for entry for their tournament. Now, that's not including side tournaments that they might want to run in addition to these major tournaments. This is the big picture story. Is we want to run a series of tournaments that doesn't compete with everybody. We'll even be, when there's a venue that wants an event, we're going to find out if there's an ROC or ROC event in that area and the time nearby, and then have to move on to another area if there happens to be a ROC event. We don't want to be competing with too many things. If there's a nationals in the area or nationals coming up, we will actually put a pause to it. We kind of want to just make everything mesh and flow and not compete with things, but we also want it to be free entry for everybody. We want this to be kind of everybody's available to this, and we don't want to keep anybody out. Now, that's not to stop the stores from running side events, etc., like we said, but our event we want to be front-facing, fan-facing, free. And we will be figuring out pricing, etc. There will be unsteady pricing, of course, because we're going to be using this money to acquire pricing, and unfortunately, because we don't have quite the direct access that we want, the pricing will be acquired via the dirty black secondary market. I wanted to call it the black market and the secondary market, and the secondary black market kind of came up. And that's kind of our goal for that. Now, that said, that's our goals for the Patreon. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about how we're going to reward our fans who do support. We have switched some of the things up and increased and decreased some values. Actually, mostly decreased. So any fan who puts in anything below $5, we appreciate you to the point where you guys will get access to our monthly Patreon update, access to our monthly Patreon hangout, which we're actually going to be holding very shortly after this video airs, with our first month patron, should he decide he wants to offer up some input on that. So it'll be kind of like a call-in show. We'll limit people. We'll control that. Don't worry about that. But as well, you'll also get a chance to vote on some of the show topics if we start running low on topics and, we want ideas for our topics. And you get our monthly update as far as how we're using the patron money. We are going to be 100% transparent about how we're using this money, right down to how much that Patreon and PayPal take, because there's a little bit that comes off of that. So that's below $5. If you pledge $5 or more per month, you'll actually get access to our non-live videos, so not the Metal Lab, basically, a month or a day in advance, and we put them up unlisted, so we ask that you don't. Anyway, but we're gonna put them up a day in advance for those who wish to watch it ahead of time, and those who do offer us $5 or more in money. As well, we're gonna make available for a month a downloadable version of that. Now, should our Patreon excel to certain levels, by all means, we're going to extend that beyond a month once we can actually get a hosting service for that. Right now, our hosting service is very limited, so we can only put up the month's videos for about a month, and that might actually require multiple sources that we're still kind of working on. So then that's up to the $5 or more per month. Then we get to $10 or more per month. And we're actually adding, on top of what we've already mentioned before, we're going to be adding a patron token, an action token. On this side, you'll see Married with Clicks. On the other side, the flip side, we have the work being planned out. On the other side, it will be a patron supporter the month and the year that you supported us at the $10 or more mark. It's just as a sign of appreciation. And if you do, support for multiple months, these things will start to add up. and you'll start to see our content improve, and you'll start to see a collection of action tokens as kind of a thank you. As well, you'll have downloaded versions of our videos so you don't have to constantly stream it on YouTube if you want to watch a video a second time. And, of course, you'll get access to our information per month. Now, at the $25 per month, for people at $25 per month or more, I get...
to build my team. When we do our weekly games, switching between our casual, have fun games and our 300-point meta or meta modern non-tactics. Basically, I will send you out a message and be like, hey, build me a team for these restrictions. And then I will, on camera, play that team that you've built for me.
And another for fans at the $25 or more per month mark get to build my team, should they so choose, for a month. And I just realized that my build is next month.
Yep.
We have a supporter right now who's been flip-flopping between Amber and myself. And I have a distinct feeling that I'm going to get thrown down a trap door on this one. I've heard a lot of people planning things that they're mean as far as that idea and what they would do to me for this. And I'll play it. I'll try to win with it.
We will play anything you tell us to play. We will play. So long as we can feasibly acquire the characters.
Yes.
We own most of modern figures, so it shouldn't be too hard to track down characters.
And that said, our extremely supporting fans at the $50 per month mark will get their own seat on my show, the Metal Lab, with my other lab techs, we'll call them. Now, what we do want to limit it to 2 people per week, 8 per month kind of idea. So we have 8 fans that's available to. Now, of course, if you give at the peak, you get all of the bonuses below. But of course, if you give at the $50 mark, you got to choose myself or Amber's team, and then we'll adjust on the site as we need so desire. This is just to let you guys lend a hand in our show. We can live without this. This is to try to improve it. If you guys don't wish to give us money into this, we still stand by the fact that what you see so far will continue. The quality of show that we have right now will continue as is. Right now we're at a point where a little bump will send us to that next level. And sometimes that next level might get a little bit more attention from bigger sources. WizKids might see us as a more reputable source and may decide that they want us to do unboxings. We may get spots with Scott D'Agostino to show the new item. Who knows, right? But that's pipe dreams, assuming we can actually take the show to the next level. As it stands right now, we can't do it on our own. We would like some help to do it, but it might take a lot of time if we have to do it on our own. So we are offering you guys the chance to help us out. We do appreciate any help that we can possibly get, and we do appreciate you guys for watching the show on a regular basis as well, aiding us in the way that you do just by watching. Once again, thank you guys very much for taking a couple minutes to listen to our speech about our Patreon, and we hope that we get a little bit more support on our Patreon right now, and we hope that you guys can reap the benefits of better quality shows, more shows, and a possible big-time tournament run by, contributed by the fans, operated by Married with Clicks. You guys have a wonderful night, day, whatever time you're watching this. And Amber's just going to keep smiling. Okay.
Yeah,
Practice makes your team better.